Hi guys, this is Spanish Grandmaster Jose Cuenca or Pepe Cuenca. I'm really glad to be here with all of you guys celebrating our second birthday of Chess 24 2 years ago. We started with this project and now we are really happy to be here. Thanks to all of you guys that you make this possible. And what are we gonna do now? As you know, Jan already told you, I'm gonna do the next 2 hours of Banter Blitz in English. He will switch to Spanish and then we'll come back. He will do in English and I will come back to Spanish. So yeah, we'll have these 24 hours non-stop of different shows. Mainly will consist of Banter Blitz. So yeah. I see I have a lot of challenges already, so let's just get started with the things we like. It is just play chess and start talking to some trash, right? So I see I have a lot of challenges here. Let's try to pick, for example, premium users. J. Rus. Where are you from, J. Rus? From the States. So I got the black pieces. All right, so let's see how he plays. I see a lot of people in the chat here. And of course, you feel free to ask me whatever you want. I normally like to interact with all the users here and everything. So just feel free to ask any question, whatever related to chess or non-chess. So, are you here, J. Ras? Yes, you are. So he plays e4. I'm gonna go for the Sicilian. I'll try to play the dragon. I like this dragon Sicilian mainly for Banter Blitz, for Blitz, I mean, for rapid games. It's really interesting and you get a lot of interesting positions where both kings are really exposed. So he plays the Alapin variation and I'll go for bishop g7. I'll take on d4 and then go d5. Yeah, so this kind of positions, normally white instead plays e5 in this position, and he takes. We have this isolated pawn position where actually, okay, he played e5. Now knight h6 is pretty normal. Some plans with black pieces are knight c6, bishop g4, knight to f5, trying to put some pressure on the d4 pawn. Bishop b5 check. All right. So I'm gonna go with for knight c6. Yeah, normally white can castle here. I will go castles myself. Yeah, and then try to go bishop g4 followed by knight f5 as I told you. Some interesting plan consists about taking both knights actually, but and then try to play around this c5 square up and in this c5 row. Okay, we have a lot of users here. H3 and now I take on f3 and then this pawn on d4 is hanging, so I can take it. I think after queen to d5 I can take on d5 and then the bishop on b5 is hanging. So Faust fan, German guy, is asking why do you yell constantly? You know, I'm Spanish and we normally yell a little bit, but if you are annoyed about this, you just can't reduce the volume of your PC, you know. I think you will be able to do this. All right, so queen to b5. I'll go e6, trying to defend this this pawn. So okay, I would love to take this pawn on e5, but it's not possible yet because the knight on h6 is hanging. So still not possible. So instead, I will maybe what? Maybe I will play just b6 defending this pawn, or maybe queen to e7. Yeah, queen to e7 looks natural as well. And yeah. Now I want to go knight to f5, trying to bring this knight to some more active squares, and then maybe try to use this c5 square. And yeah, I think of course black is a little bit better, because we are a pawn up, but still not possible right now. I mean, not sure that we are gonna win this game. You know, in chess it's so easy to screw it all up. You know, yeah. So we need to focus a little bit. So I'll just take this guy on e5 because just now it's just hanging, and yeah. So we have we are 2 pawns up actually. Yeah, so now we play a6. We are gonna put a rook on the c5 and then trying to exchange to liquidate everything possible on the board, right? So when you are material up, actually it's a good idea to exchange everything, right? So just gonna go rook c8. I'm gonna exchange everything possible. As I said, we have a lot of users here from Belgium, from Germany, from Colombia. And okay, as I told you, this is my idea to exchange everything. Now there is a little trick here. Some positions he can try to take on d5, but now it's not possible because the queen is defended. But anyway, I will go queen to d6, targeting this f4 knight. And yeah, I don't know. So still, we need to be a little bit careful, but okay. 7, etc, etc. For example, king g7 here in this position looks fine. Knight to c6. Okay, a little trick here. He's trying to trick me, but now just knight to c6 should be fine. Now I'm threatening to take the knight on c6. Okay, so b takes c6. Okay, king to g2, I'll go d4, this pawn runs like a beast, right? In 3 moves, it will be almost there, it will become a queen. Alright, so check, and then I want to go e4, he'll probably go to f3, but then this pawn on a2 is hanging as well, so pawns for free, right? I like pawn for free, I love pawns for free, so I should take them. Then I just can go back to d5, play c5 and c4, for example. This is not a problem, so I'll go c5. If he takes his pawn, I'll take this b2 pawn, it's more important. And yeah. Alright, so queen takes, I take this guy on b2, and now I'll go queen to e2, where I defend this e5 pawn, then I help this guy to run like a beast, right? d3, d2, and then that's just queen, right? Okay, as you guys know, we have 24 hours of non-stop shows, so we'll have a lot of Banter Blitz, a lot of tactic trainer solving, and we'll also do some Banter Blitz version, different kind of Banter Blitz, where 2 masters we play at the same game and then we talk at the same time, so it's quite interesting to see. I recommend you to see this. And we'll have Jan Gustafsson, Peter Bilder, Sopico, Anna, Ilya Zaragatsky, David Anton, and alright, so I just can go d2 now, and d2, d1, right? d2, d1, that's just a queen. Thank you very much, J. Ras, for playing. Okay, we have Tic Tac. User from Belgium, 2400, quite dangerous, so we need to focus on this game. And okay, e4, and then I'm gonna go, I don't know, with the Philly-dot defense. I played myself a lot of times this Philly-dot defense, so knight f3, e5, okay? So this endgame is not that dangerous, so if white takes is not really a problem, but the main line goes with knight f3. Bishop b5 is really not a main move, of course, because one of the ideas for black is go c6 on b5, so bishop b5 is not really a good move. It gives us a lot of tempi, so I'm gonna go with bishop e7, then castles. I'm threatening to play b5 and b4, and then the e4 pawn is hanging, right? Dusseldorfer, he said, switching from Jan to Pepa. Pepa is calling me Pepa. It's really funny. Pepa. Alright, so, okay. What to do now? Normally we would like to go b5 and b4. Yeah, that's pretty normal. But I will go a5 first. I'll go a5 because I'm threatening to win this bishop. He goes bishop b3, then I go b5. Okay, I will take with this guy. So rook d1, b5 just wins a whole piece, and bishop b3 I can go b5 anyway, and if a4 I can go b4, and then bishop a6 looks quite interesting for black in this position. So it's fine, Dusseldorfer, it's fine. Okay, I'll go b5, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think b5 is a good move, so of course he has to go a4, and now it's the important moment to think. I would love to go b4, yeah, because knight a2, bishop a6 doesn't win anything because bishop c4 is still there, but maybe now, just maybe, I don't know, maybe queen c7 followed by knight to c5. It's interesting because we wanna, not sure, maybe even knight to b6. Knight to b6 followed by bishop a6, and he has some troubles to put some piece on c4 with this knight on b6. Maybe also we can bring our bishop to c5. Okay, now bishop a6 I think is pretty annoying in some positions, so he cannot move pretty confidently. I mean, it's not that easy to move their pieces now because his pieces, sorry. Okay, that's a good move. That's a good move. Maybe c5. Yeah, I'll go c5. Not sure what I'm doing here. Maybe one plan is to go knight e8 and knight to d6 because he has some troubles in this diagonal, so can be interesting, right? Yeah, bishop to g5. Well, what now? What now? This plan with knight e8 looks extremely interesting. Looks really interesting. Another plan is to go knight to h5. Knight to h5. It looks really interesting as well. But okay, I'll just go for this. I'll just go for this. Not quite sure. Okay, there are many pieces hanging, but of course he has this problem in this diagonal with this pin with the bishop on a6, right? So he can never take on b6. He can never take on e5 because it's just boom, queen takes e5, winning a whole piece, right? And then I'm threatening to go queen to e6 maybe in this position. Queen to e6 looks interesting. Right? No, I don't think so. Knight to b6, then this bishop is also really a threat. So, maybe it's just interesting to go knight to c7 and then try to go knight to e6. As I told you, it's not so easy to move. I mean, he cannot unpin that easily, right? He cannot go queen to e3 because there's always this knight on c4 hanging, but now maybe it's yeah, that's a good idea. He wants to unpin himself with queen to e3 or something like this, but all right, should be okay more or less. Knight to e6 and yeah, queen to e3, and then what? Then what? Of course now he wants to take on b6, so I need to take here this guy. And this looks to me like a pretty equal position. I want to put this strong knight on d4 here. I mean, who's gonna kick this guy out from there? Maybe it's quite easily to kick him out, but maybe not. Maybe I'm threatening to take now on c2, right? c2 is just a fork, right? Not easy, not easy. Not easy at all. Okay, maybe g6 followed by king to g7. Yeah, king to g7, f5, try to push this pawn to create some counterplay here on the king side. Maybe he takes on a6. This rook in the future can get to the king side, right? After it's on f5, e takes, g takes, and then rook to g6. Of course, this is just a dream, right? This is just a dream, but maybe, why not? We'll see. c3, okay. c3, okay, I want to go knight to e6. Knight to e6, knight to c4. I think he's got a good position here. I don't know what am I doing here. It's not that simple. I'll go knight to f4, maybe some queen to g5 in some positions, but actually I think white's got a good position here. Maybe queen to e6. All right. Yeah. Okay, I don't see anything. Poof. What about queen to e6? Or knight to h5? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, rook to d5. He's putting a lot of pressure on me in this position, actually. He's putting a lot of pressure. It's not easy to play in this position. Not easy at all. Okay, I'll just take this guy on c3. Just to, I don't know, how to create some counterplay here. I don't know how. Just go queen to e8. I want to take this guy on a4, but rook a1 looks good to me. Looks really good to me. Just defending this pawn and then take on c5 or e5. This really looks good to me. Maybe queen to e6. Yeah. No, rook a1. I think just white is better. White is much better. What can I do? What can I do? I can do nothing. Guys, this looks really bad. We need to have some... Okay, I'll go queen to e6. You can just take on c5, it's not a problem at all. But then maybe I can try to go to h3 and try to create some ideas with rook f6 and knight f4. This is just nothing. This is just nothing. I will go... Okay, I will go f6. I'm playing really bad this game. Knight to a5. He's taking everything possible. I'll just go queen to h3. Or maybe rook a8. I want to take this guy on a4 at least, and then try to get some counterplay because he has some problems in the back rank. And so let's say after knight c4, rook takes a4, rook takes. At least this rook is pretty far from the action. Oh, that's a piece for free, right? That's food for free. I just love food for free. I'll just take it. I'll just take it. Knight c6. That was a mistake. Yeah. Happily for us, you know. I'll just take this guy. Okay. Still, it's not easy at all, this position. But we are a piece up. We should be able to win this game. Just queen to d3. I'll just go knight to a6. And then a6 probably. What else? Okay, queen to d5. This should be completely winning. Knight to c5. Now the plan is to bring our king, of course, to d6 to put some good blockade there. And this should be okay. This is a rook for free. I just love food for free, pieces for free. I just take it. Okay. So thanks very much for your game, Tic Tac. You were completely crushing me, but I was lucky at the end. Okay, so we have Michael Opsepan. A lot of guys here. Alright, so we have a lot of users here. Chacho, Method Chess. A lot of people. I go d4 here. Alright, so remember, in 2 hours, Jan will be back in English. I will be back to Spanish. Then Ilya Zaragatsky will be back in English at 6 a.m. Central European time. I'll just go and play the Catalan. We have recorded some series about the Catalan. Actually, myself, in Spanish. That's the only problem for those who don't speak Spanish. But okay, so we are entering in one of the main lines, b6. Okay, this is not the most common line. Most common is just c6 or d takes c4, of course. I'll just go something like knight to e5 and then knight to c3, trying to put some pressure on the center. The dream in the Catalan is to try to play e4 in some positions, right? c6. All right, and this is where I tell you that actually e4 is already possible. So I think I'm just gonna go for e4, right? Just trying to get some more space on the center, right? Why not? D takes e4, knight takes, bishop takes e4. And the problem with black position is normally it's not that easy to open this diagonal for this little monster on b7. Okay, knight to b7. What now? What now? I think I'll just take this guy and play e5, trying to win some space in the center. So if knight takes, then I win a pawn on d5. If queen takes, then this knight hasn't got a proper square, right? It has to go to e8. And then the usual approach is to take on d5, I think, and then try to take advantage of this space advantage that we have on the king side. Yeah, I agree, Tic Tac. You really had a great position. You were crushing me. You were completely crushing me in that position. I was so lucky that you made this mistake with knight to c6, just blundering a whole piece, right? But that's chess, right? That's what I was telling. We need to focus all the time. Otherwise, it's just impossible. Okay, I'll just go queen d3. It's important not to avoid this guy to get activated in this diagonal. So if he goes a5, I'll go just a4 to put a beautiful knight on b5. Okay, knight to g7, and then maybe just try to occupy this file, the c file, and maybe try to attack on the king side, but it looks really not that simple. I'll just go rook to d1. I don't know, maybe h4 in some positions. One good plan for black could be to play just rook d8 and then try to put a knight on f5. This looks good to me, but okay, maybe my bishop can go back to f4, then just try to play h4, h5, trying to create some attack there. Maybe just if the knight lands on f5, the bishop on h3 will make some sense in this position. Yeah, rook d8, and then he wants to go knight to f5. I'll just go h4 and then bishop f4, as I told you. Some positions I can try to go g4 later, right? I don't know, guys. Okay, bishop f4, and then, yeah, I'm not sure what is my plan if he goes, for example, h5 in this position. Looks really good for black, though. I don't know, guys. I'm playing like a kid. I mean, it's around equal for sure, but I'm not playing nothing. I'm playing nothing special in this position. Okay, bishop to b4, and I'll go, as I told you, h5. He really has to be brave to take that guy on h5, right? I will never do it. But if he doesn't do it, I can go g4 in some positions, right? And then this knight again hasn't got a proper square. That's why I was suggesting h5, so you can put your knight there. a6, this is really a passive move, so I will go just g4 maybe. g4 or bishop g5 even. Okay, I'll just go g4. If he goes knight to h4, I can try to go bishop h1, and then actually this knight is almost lost, right? In this position I can go bishop g5 or even queen h3, and this knight is just almost lost, right? In this position, knight to e7. Okay, and then I see a plan, a nice plan to give a checkmate. So just bishop g5, bishop f6, queen e3, bishop 8, queen to h6, and then probably not mate because he can go back to f8 with the bishop, but he has to think about some stuff. I mean, it's not easy. I can also try to think of going bishop f3. Okay, that's completely a mistake, I think. I can even try to go queen e3 here directly. Guys, what do you think? Queen e3 here, just... Queen e3 is not that bad. Queen e3 is actually, it's not mate, it is mate, right? I like this queen e3 here. I'm gonna play queen e3. Okay, maybe I'll lose the game, but I think it's just winning because queen h6 is coming. Boom, boom. Yeah. So yeah, queen e3, and then it's just checkmate, right? There's no time to go back to f8. There's no time to put some piece. Okay, this is okay. He can try g5, but all right, I will take, and then queen to h6 in the next move, and this is just checkmate, right? This is just check, beautiful mate here. Yeah, people are asking if I am gonna record some series in English in the future. Yeah, that's one of the plans, or at least translate by video the series that I recorded in Spanish, right? That should be easy work, and yeah, why not, right? Yeah, so we are playing against Portish number 2. I'm gonna go with King's Indian. Yeah, I like the King's Indian. I don't know about you guys, but I watch all the Robin Van Kampen series. I just love it. It's really cool. All right, d6. Okay, Robin Van Kampen here recommends knight to c6. It's just a pawn of variation. This is the main line. I'm gonna go here with c6. Just it's not the main line, but it's quite interesting as well. You wanna go queen to b6, some lines queen to a6, and then go b5. It's pretty strange play, but interesting play. So there are many. Actually, my game against Jan Gustafsson in the Bundesliga, he crashed me. He played b3 here. All right, so what to play here? Maybe the same idea with queen a6. Why not? Let's try queen a6 and b5. This looks really strange because it looks dangerous because of this diagonal, but then you go really fast to b7 with your bishop as well. queen to b3. And now when the queen is here, there's no natural defense for this pawn on c4, I mean with a pawn on b3. So one of the plans could be just to go knight to d7 and knight to b6, just trying to create some problems with this c4 pawn. Yeah, and then later d5 or something like this. This is actually one of the plans when the queen comes to b3. Yeah, not that simple for white here to play. I mean, of course it's simple, but I mean, yeah, maybe after knight b6 he can try to go c5, but then this pawn will be a little bit too far away, right, from this. Okay, bishop f1. I didn't see this idea. Actually, I have to admit, I didn't see this idea is quite strong. Yeah, I really... Okay, what to do now? He's threatening to play c5. Maybe I want to go now to the other flank, right? With queen a5 and then queen h5, followed by bishop h3, knight to g4, trying to create some counterplay over there. That's what I mean, yeah. Queen to h5, bishop goes to g2. I can try to go even bishop to g4, and there's actually no square for this guy. There's actually no square for this knight, no proper square, right? d2, e1, all are occupied. But I mean, and in h4 I can just try to put to kick out this knight from there with g5, right? So it's not that simple to play here anymore. Okay, h4 is actually pretty good. He gets this h2 square for the knight. No, what am I saying? This is a knight for free, right? This is a knight for free. I'll just take it. So, because after queen takes f3, I have space for my queen later, right? I just, after bishop e2, I can go to f5. After bishop g2, I can just go back to h5. So I'll just take it. I'll just take it. This is food for free. So, thanks for the game, Portis. Interesting opening, I have to say. And we have a lot of challenges here. I like that. I like you guys are all chatting there in the chat. This is getting really active, really interactive. And we have Faust Fan, German user, who says we Spanish gel all the time. That's true. That's really true. We gel all the time. But I gel more than the average of the Spanish guy. So again, another Alapin variation. I'll just try to play something different. I'll just try to go e6. Why not? Thanks, Portis, for the game. Alright, d4. I'll just go d5 here. Why not? So e takes. We are now in a... Okay, bishop b5. Alright, I'll just go knight to f6. Then try to go bishop e7. This kind of... Or I'll just take on d4. And then go bishop d7 here. Not sure about what I did. I'm not really sure about what I did, because now queen to e2 is pretty annoying, at least. Okay, queen to e2 was pretty annoying, I think, but maybe knight to d4 was good enough to equalize. So I'll just go castles here. Just go castle, try nomad development with rook e8, a6, something like this. I have this e4 square to get my pieces activated, or bishop d6 even. Bishop d6 even to try to occupy this beautiful diagonal. Actually, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, why not? Just I want to target this h2 pawn. Some lines could be dangerous for him. Yeah, one of the ideas with the isolated pawn, for those of you guys who are starting to play chess, when you have the isolated pawn, don't exchange pieces. Just try to create some counterplays. Try to create some attack, because in the end games, just having an isolated pawn is just terrible. Alright, so knight to f3, I'll just go a6 in order to avoid all these jumps with the knight to b5. Maybe I can try to go now knight to e4 or knight to g4 to more active squares. Actually, this was really annoying. I shouldn't have allowed that. Okay, I'll just go h6, maybe bishop h4. And yeah, I want to pin myself. That's why I think this... I should have played h6, because now it's pretty uncomfortable. I had to go bishop e7, and then of course this is not the ideal. This is not the ideal for the bishop. It's a lot more active in d6. But what to do? Maybe g5, but this looks like a bit too much, right? Looks like a bit too much. So I'll just go bishop e7, playing this stuff. And yeah, I don't know, maybe knight to e4 in the next move. Bishop d3 looks natural to me. h3, all right, or just go knight to e4. Yeah, why not? And then rook to e7. Bishop d3 looks natural to me, and then queen c7, try to bring the other rook to the e file. I don't know, pretty equal position. He's a bit better because he has better pawn structure, I think. But okay, I can try to go queen to b6 or queen to c7. Yeah, both looks fine. Yeah, of course, it's not good idea to take on c6 because it will improve my structure. So he is not gonna do it for sure. I'll just go queen to c7 and then try to bring my other rook to e8, defending this guy here. Queen to c2 will be threatening to take on e4, but then I'll just bring my rook to e8. Yeah, I see here atacando, dos diablillos, Faustfan, Portis, Faraps. A lot of users here in this night here in our party, in our birthday party of Chess24, second year of a lot of Banter Blitz, a lot of broadcast, a lot of premium series. I hope you guys are enjoying this Chess24 stuff. I think it's pretty good. All right, so rook to e2. Rook to e2. Yeah, he's playing quite well. Maybe, I don't know what to do. Again and again. All the time the same problem, right? Maybe I'll just try to go to some more active square like f4. f4, something like this. Oh, that is a beautiful trick or not? No, after rook ae1, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens at all. So what to play? I mean, it's not easy to make a move now. Not easy at all. Not easy at all. What to do? What to do? I had to play something. I had to play something. Maybe queen f6, he takes everything on e4. No, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I'll just go g6. I had to play something. So let's give some fresh air to my king. Let's give some fresh air. So now I can try to go king to g7, maybe h5 in some positions. And yeah, he can go g3, but then queen to f6. If he takes everything on e4, then the h3 pawn is just hanging, right? So not a problem. Not a problem at all. See here challenges from Marre, Diego, Shasho, Nermit, Muchacha. A lot of users here in this long night with us. This is what I think that is actually is not really good. I'll just take, his idea is to take on a6, but then we have this beautiful trick here. Boom! Boom! Bishop takes h3. And now the knight on f3 is just hanging, right? So, beautiful trick here. We managed to win a pawn at least. And yeah, okay. Now I go back to f4. There are some beautiful checks, maybe. I need to be careful. There are some f3. Okay, I'll just take this guy with my pawn. And then there are some maneuvers like rook e5, trying to bring the rook to g5. It looks quite interesting. Whoa, there is also e takes f3. It works? Doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, just queen to g3. Oh, I didn't see that coming. That was a clear mistake, but okay, it's just fine. I think after f5 we should be winning anyway. I'll just take with the pawn. I couldn't calculate properly the pawn endgame. Okay, king to g7. If rook d6, I can just go rook e6. Then takes, and I need to bring my king fast to the center. You guys know this is really important in endgames. Just bring your king to the center. Keep it active. All right, he wanna go to f4. Okay, g5, if king g4, I just go king to 8. King to where? Now king to g4 is really annoying, but okay, now it should be better for black. Okay, rook d7, I'm threatening to play rook d3. Takes everything, and okay, I'll just go king to e5. Now rook d3 will be... Okay, I'll take this guy, and this endgame should be completely winning. This endgame should be completely winning because... Okay, here... e3... Check... Oh, really? I managed to screw it up. Okay, here... Here... And he has to... Rook b8 is just a draw. Rook b8 is just a draw. Oh man, how did I do this? This is just terrible. Check. He's giving me a lot of checks. What can I do? It's just draw. Alright, very good, Faust fan. Terrible endgame played by me for sure. But okay. Okay, let's just go e4. We have Marais from Belgium. He plays the Aljochin, e5. I'll just go d4 and then c4. The main line, of course. And yeah, just take on d6, knight c3, and knight to c6. This is not really the best move. There is some f4 now here, trying to win some space because knight to c4 it's not possible because bishop takes c4 and then queen a4. That's the idea. And now this is just too much space for white. Yeah, great game, Faust fan. Really well defended. That rook endgame. Bishop e7 and then I'll just go castle, short castle. And yeah, this looks good for white. A lot of space. And the knights, they don't have really active squares, right? They're on b6 and on g6. But still, not easy, of course, as always. I'll just go, for example, bishop to d2. Bishop to d2, I want to go queen to c2, and then rook to e1, something like this. Maybe play g3, h4 in some lines. Nah, this is too much, but yeah, queen c2, and then rook a e1. Okay, I want to go knight to c5. This looks really natural, but maybe I can just try to avoid it. So after b4, a5, a5, I can just go a3, right? And try to keep my pawns there. A takes b4. Alright, yeah, this is interesting. I think it's just... I have a lot of compensation here in this position. So let's see how I try to do something interesting. So for example, after bishop c2, I will be threatening to play bishop g7. So I'm just gonna play bishop c2 and see how he handles this position, because there are a lot of threats actually. So now queen to d4 will be just completely winning almost. Okay, he goes back, and now I'll just go queen to d4. Yeah, knight to e5. Then I can try to play bishop g6 even, so getting this pawn back, right? So getting this pawn back. Another interesting idea would be to play h4, but I'm just gonna take this guy. He has to take with a pawn, for example the h pawn, and then I will take on e5. Then I will have a slightly better position, I think. So, what are the people saying here? Shasho, Faust fan, a lot of users here. Where are the rest? Where are all the Latin American guys? It's a reasonable time there to play chess. In Europe, yeah, we have to be a bit crazy. Yeah, it's almost 3 a.m. like a big party, but on Tuesday. On chess 24, that's how we roll. So queen to d4, then this should be much better for white because we have a lot of central space. This guy on c3 is just a monster. So I'm just gonna bring my rooks to the center to e1, something like this. And then, okay, maybe I can try to push the c5 and then d6, but no, I don't think so. Maybe h3. h3 looks natural, and then he has to take care of this a7 pawn as well in many variations. So first he should play something like a6 or something. Okay, and this is now, this bishop is almost trapped, because he can go to c2. He's lucky in this position. He can go to c2, right? So g4 is not a good idea, I think, because after bishop c2 our king will be just too exposed, right? So what to do? What to do? Not easy at all. Not easy at all. All right. So okay, I'll just go a3. I have to play something. Hey, oh, we have Chernik. He's sending greetings for Argentina. A lot of people from Argentina in chess 24. So queen to a4. How to proceed now? Now it's interesting to go g4 and g5. Actually, I think I'll just go for it, because with the queen on d7 it looks pretty dangerous to open this scheme, but with the queen on a4 is a little bit far away from the action. I can try to go g4 and g5, try to open this beautiful diagonal for this little monster on c3, and with the help of this queen on d4 could be a disaster for black. But okay, let's see. Rook to e1, and then he has to move his bishop. Rook e8 doesn't work, because I can just take this guy on f5. The rook on e1 is just defended. Yeah, g4 followed by g5 looks really interesting. And now rook takes e1. I think it's it's a mistake, because now we have even rook e7 after rook e8. Rook takes g7. It's quite interesting. It's just checkmate, right? Rook e7, rook e8, rook takes e7, queen takes f6, and then if king h6, we have queen h4, and if it goes to another square, we have queen to g7, right? So rook to e8. Let's see. This is really good, right? Rook takes g7. Rook takes e7 should be winning, right? If I maybe I'm gonna lose this game, right? Maybe I'm gonna lose this game. You never know with me. Maybe I'm blundering something, but I think after rook takes g7, I think it's just checkmate, right? Queen takes f6, and now the little subtlety, queen to h4. Boom! Alright, so thank you very much for your game, Marrer. We keep playing with all of the users. We have Diego Jimenez Vivanco. Diego Jimenez Vivanco, where are you from? From Colombia. A lot of Colombian people playing here. In our birthday, we are 2 years already. We know how to talk already. So, thank you for your game, Marrer. Are you here, Diego? Are you here, Diego? Otherwise, I will have to abort the game. There are many people waiting. Are you here, Diego? I think he's not here, so I will abort the game. Just when you come back, just challenge me again. We'll play later for sure. Okay, we have strong players here. We have, oh, sorry guys, I'm moving the board. I know it's pretty annoying. Let me see. We have RWC. Where are you from? From Germany. A lot of German users. So d4, and then I'm gonna go c4, following Jan's style. Okay, I'm gonna go with fianchetto variation. G3, bishop g2 is one of the most solid lines against the King's India. He plays in the style of the Grunfeld with c6. I'm just gonna play some rubbish here. I don't want to enter in the middle line. I know it's rubbish. No, this is too much. I wanted to go d5, but this is just too much. No, I just go bishop g2. I'll keep calm. Actually, I have my equipment for my 72 hours Banter Blitz, but I forgot in the other studio with John. So I'll just castles here. Yeah, okay, knight to c3. This is really main line. So knight to e4 or knight to c6, knight to e4. Yeah, and actually I don't know what's going on here. I don't remember anything in this line. I'll just go queen to b3. I just want to take this guy on d5. Let's see, he he helped me. No, he didn't help me, so I'll just take this guy. Yeah, this kind of position. Black has a really simple plan. He wants to put a knight on a5 and on c4, right? And this looks really natural. I'll go knight to d2, just putting some pressure on the d5 pawn, and then maybe I can try to push my pawn on with e4, right? Yeah, we also, people are asking what languages do you study at school in different countries. In Spain we study English, of course, but nobody speaks it after high school. We also study French, not German. I don't think so. No, I never heard about anybody studying German, just in specific schools, right? All right, so what to do here? I'll just go with e4. Yeah, trying to gain some space on the center. I'll just take with the knight, and then my bishop can come to g5 to some more active squares, or also to a3, and then there are some beautiful jumps on d6, right? So interesting. So yeah, maybe bishop g5 or bishop a3 followed by knight to d6, winning the bishop pair. Looks interesting and natural to me. So let's see how he handles this. It's actually a pretty direct threat. So bishop a3 followed by knight to d6, and then takes on c8, and then rook b1, putting some pressure with this little monster. This is pretty devilish, this bishop from d2. Yeah, I speak some German, actually work in Hamburg University. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber nicht sehr gut. Aber ich versuche, ja? So e5. What to do here? What to do here, guys? I wanna go bishop a3 so badly here in this position. I wanna go bishop a3 so badly. So bishop a3, rook e8, then knight to d6, knight to d6. Yeah, and he can never go bishop e6 after the knight is landed on d6, because there is all with this d5, boom, right? Hitting two pieces. Now it's a good idea, I think. Yeah, now it's a good idea. But okay, I can take on b7. I can take on b7. And then knight to a5. He's got some compensation, right? I'll take it. I just love pawns for free, guys. Sorry, I have to take it. It's just my religion. It forces me. And now maybe queen to e7. This looks interesting. I don't know. I would love to do that, because my bishop is not hitting. It's not hitting the rook on f8 anymore. And if queen a6, he can play bishop to c4. Yeah, I don't like this. Okay, I'll just go queen to e7. He takes rook e8, knight to f6. Then I will win the bishop pair. I will have two monsters. Oh, these two bishops are just gods, right? Look at this bishop on g2. Look at this bishop on a3. They are just so happy, man. They are just really so happy, enjoying like a beast. So I'll just take this guy on d4, and then if he manages to take on d4, then I can take with the queen. I actually didn't see that. I overestimated this move. So yeah, I root for Sampaoli actually. Yeah, I like Sampaoli. I like the atmosphere of Sampaoli people. So knight to c4. This is getting pretty annoying actually. It's getting a lot of counterplay. Not easy. Okay, I'll just take, and then I have this idea with bishop e7. My idea is to go knight f6 in the next move, and then this rook will have some troubles there. So after rook takes d4, knight f6 is just crushing him, I think. So bishop e7. So for example, rook takes d4, knight to f6. Just is just winning some material, because after bishop takes, then they're both rooks. You see the power of these two guys, these two bishops is just too strong, you know. And he cannot take on d4, then what to do? I mean, next move is knight f6. Now knight f6 is really strong again. You see? Then I take, and then it's just too strong. Yeah. Yeah, I also like a lot San Pauli. And I actually, there is a chess tournament in San Pauli, if you guys know. Probably guys from Hamburg, you know, there is a strong tournament in San Pauli. I played it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, it's really cool tournament in the football stadium actually. So, okay, knight to b6. I want to go a4 here. I want to go a4 or maybe whatever, I don't know what to do. Yeah, a4, so he cannot take my pawn on a2, and then a5 maybe, knight to d5, bishop to okay, knight to c4, that should be more or less a mistake, right? Rook to c1, it was most important to blockade on d5. Okay, so what to do now? What to do? d5 looks really tempting, right? Let's go, man, let's go. Let's try to make a queen. Let's try to make a queen and be happy with all our pieces. So, what to do now? Rook b4, maybe? Yeah, rook b4. Yeah, rook b4. Now I want to go d6 in some positions. He has a lot of problems in the back rank there, right? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I'll take, and then d6, or maybe h3. We should give some fresh air to my king, right? He's asking for this. h3, really calm move, but then trying to go d6, just trying to make a queen in the couple of next moves. Yeah, what to do here? That's a good move. That's a good move. He wants to blockade this pawn on d5 with knight to d6, but not that simple. I'll go g4. Where are you going with your bishop? I think only a square is d7 or c8, right? Because otherwise, if you go through this diagonal, then you have a lot of problems. And I'll just go king to h2, just to see what he does. Of course, rook b8 should be okay as well. Okay, king to f8, bishop f1. Let's try to ask this knight where you want to go. So for example, after knight to d6, there is always bishop e5. Okay, and now d6, this pawn starts to run. Bishop e7, bishop b5, boom! There's just no proper square for the rook, right? Yeah, I want that. That's pretty tasty. And then this pawn on a7 is pretty tasty. Curry sauce. I'm just gonna take it, and then d7, and then it's gone. It's gone, guys. Takes, I'll just take, and for example, rook c7, d7. Yeah. Okay, I'll just go rook e7. I want to go g5 now, and d7. Okay, h4. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much for your game, RW. I'm gonna accept Chacho challenges. So next, so we play against Chacho. I'm gonna play the Philidor again. It's one of my favorite openings. It's not played normally in the top tournaments, but actually I really like it. It's pretty calm opening. You need to know your stuff, but yeah, I will try to explain some ideas that can happen in this position. So knight f3 is the main line. The endgame is not dangerous at all for black. So bishop e7 is important because knight to g5 is threatened in this position. And I just want to go castle c6. If white allows me, I will expand my queen side with b5. But normally white avoids this with a4. Just want to go. There are two main lines. One with a5, another one with b6. I want to go a6, rook b8, and then b5 finally, because now it's not possible to play because there are problems in this stuff. Okay, queen to e2. I'll just go Okay, I'll just go e takes. It's not usual to take on, it's not normal to take on d4, but when the queen is on e2, it makes sense, because now there's no jump to g5 with the knight, and then we want to go just pretty. Wow, I just blundered a pawn on c6. Ridiculous. I just blundered a pawn on c6. Yeah, this was not the right move. Yeah, first queen c7, for example. Yeah, wow, man. This is terrible. This is terrible. Okay, now we need to fight. Now we need to fight to try to fix this mess that I just created in one move. Wow. Okay, bishop d3. Now it's time to try to create some nasty ideas, so he cannot win that easily that game. But I just blundered the pawn. Just blundered the pawn. Yeah, all right, so terrible move. Okay, I'll just go h6. Maybe if he goes to h4, I can try to go something like rook a e8, and then just to go g5 and then take on e4. I'll try to do that. Okay, let's try to go for rook a e8. Then now I want to go g5 and then take on e4. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I know, and it's just 3 a.m. I had to be here. That's another pawn for free. I'm giving all for free in this game. This is just completely terrible. Okay, maybe rook takes c4. Yeah, there is some nice tactics here. Okay, rook takes c4, then he takes, I take with the rook, and then after queen d3 I have queen knight to c5. So some tricks here, some nice tricks here. Let's see if they work or not. Let's see if I'm right. But there are some tricks. There are some tricks. It was a pawn sacrifice, guys. Yeah, it was a pawn sacrifice. Sometimes, and actually the bishop on h4 is hanging as well, so I don't see anything. Yeah, I was just trying to pick up this guy on a6, and actually I can do that, but also the bishop on h4 is just hanging, right? So I can do this. I'll just do this. Or maybe bishop c6 first is really precise, because if I take on h4 directly, he will just go takes on b7 and a5, and that's really dangerous. But if I go first bishop c6, then this bishop on a6 is not doing anything, and I think he cannot defend this pawn on, he cannot defend this guy on h4. So, and this guy on c6 is actually pretty dangerous. We have a lot of action going on his king side. So I'll just take here, or I can play another intermediate move, but that's just too much, right? So I wanted to go knight to c5, but then maybe he can go to g3. But maybe I can also play knight to h5 in that position. But I think it's just too much, as I told you guys. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'll just go for it. I'll just go for it. Why not? This is just Banter Blitz, right? If I lose this game, what's gonna happen to me? Nothing. I will survive. So, yeah. And of course, we can always take this guy on a6 now. I mean, if we don't manage to take this guy on h4, this bishop on a6 is just hanging. So, yeah. Okay, we got some tricks at the end of the day, so not so bad. But the opening was just terrible, guys. I was saying, okay, I know some stuff about the filly, though I wanna try to explain some ideas in this position, but it was just ridiculous, right? I just blundered the c6 pawn. I'm a terrible player. Okay, queen to g3, and now there are few stuff that we can try. I can try to take on a6, and then knight h5 is a trick that is hanging all the time. Yeah, I'll do this. Knight takes. No. This is just terrible again. Bishop f6. And I have to go knight to h5. I almost managed to lose the game immediately. But queen to g3, knight to h5. As I told you, no proper square for the queen. So again, this bishop on h4 cannot be defended, and the bishop on a6 still hanging. So I will take this guy or not. Yeah, I will take this guy, And if b4, we have knight to e4 winning a tempo. And the knight is coming to f4 with some... I will just play knight to f4. Knight to f4. So he cannot take on c6 because... Why? Because there's knight to e2. Ba-boom, right? And of course... Alright, so he plays rook e1. And what can we do now? This should be winning, right? This should be winning somehow because there are too many pieces attacking there. So knight to g2, bishop to g2, or something like this. Something like this. Let me think for a bit. So bishop to g2, rook e8, king h7. There are no checks. There are no checks. There are no checks, I think. This is pretty risky, I will say, but I'm just gonna do it. So my plan is to go queen to b7 and knight takes a3 in some positions. Yeah, there are always tricks in chess, guys. Important to be focused all the time. I lost so many games, so many games doing stupid stuff. Alright, so queen to g3. Now how to defend everything. How to defend everything. I want to defend everything. It's not that easy. g5 looks interesting. I'm just gonna play g5, and then I want to go rook takes a3 and rook h1, right? Rook takes h3 and then rook h1 checkmate. Whoa, 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 whoa! I didn't see that coming. I know. I don't see anything. I don't see just anything. Okay, this king is so brave. This king is gonna end up in h5. You will see. He's so brave. This king is gonna end up in h5, winning the game. Trust me. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go. Queen h8, king g6, rook g8, king h5. And this king is gonna come to win the game. Trust me. This is what's going to happen in this game. He has no other choice. Maybe I'm blundering just mating one, you know. But this is just mating one in h1. I'm so bad player. I'm such a terrible player. The opening was just terrible. Not even my future kid with 1 year old will play this kind of game. But just rook h1 wins the game. Thank you very much, Chacho, for the game. And we keep playing. We keep playing. We have a lot of challenges here. We have Muchacha here. Muchacha, where are you from, Muchacha? From Germany. A lot of German users in Chess24. And I'm just gonna try to play the dragon again, the accelerated dragon with g6 here. I got 2 Alapins today here, but yeah, this is more interesting. We enter in the main line, and we got John here. How are you doing? All the
You're having fun, no? Just shouting pum 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 pum
yeah,
from
some
the room.
shotgun. So the Spanish guys are crushing you, or you are crushing
The Spanish guys are crushing me.
Are crushing you, really?
Some guy from Dominican Republic could checkmate me in 2 moves the last game, but survived somehow.
Okay.
Okay.
So 1 more hour, right, of
Yes.
Spanish and English. Okay. So bishop to b5. Bishop to b5, bishop to d7. Yeah. Was you were crushing me as well in the previous game. Yeah, I was playing like a kid. What can I say? I was playing like a kid. Alright, knight f6. Okay, this plan with knight to b3 normally is combined with something like bishop e2 or unsure castle, but this bishop to b5 is really strange. I mean, okay, bishop to f4, and then I just go castles. Queen to d2. Okay, there are some tricks here. No tricks. No tricks anymore. I just love tricks. I just love tricks because I don't play well, so I just need to trick all the time. So I'll just go rook e8. So bishop h6, so I have a square for the bishop here in order to avoid this exchange of bishops. You guys know that in the dragon, this kind of positions, this guy is the most important piece normally. It's really has a really great diagonal, and he has a lot it does a lot of defensive tasks, you know, in this kind of positions. All right, so Atacando is going to sleep. Have fun, Atacando. Don't sleep too much. Tomorrow we have to work, all of us. All right, so what to do here? Maybe something like knight to e5. Yeah, this looks interesting. So when this guy, when these guys are exchanged, it's easier to occupy the c4 square, and in combination with this guy of h8 can be really interesting, right? There are some tricks on b2 later. Yeah. All right, so I'll just take with the queen here. I think it's interesting. There are some tricks again. Tricks coming. Queen to g4, knight to f3, baboom, right? Or knight to c4 is the most natural move in this position, followed by rook c8, knight takes b2, and then this knight on c3 will be hanging for sure in some lines. But you never know. You never know. Okay. Yeah, that's true. If you show my previous game to a computer, it just explodes. Yeah, it will say, this guy is playing. What is he doing? All right, so now it's time to calculate a little bit. So queen to g4 is actually interesting, but I think it's just nothing. He can go whatever, queen to e2. But knight to c4 is really interesting. Knight to c4 followed by knight takes b2, for example. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. Okay, knight to c4. So even though he goes queen to c1, no, I just take on d5 and then on b2, but he cannot defend this pawn on b2 properly. I don't know if just wasting too much time just for taking a pawn, but I think a pawn is a pawn, right? As Jan tends to say. A pawn is a pawn. Yeah, queen to g4 was interesting. Yes, just going for some tricks. But now I'm not going for tricks. I'm going for material. I'm going for money, material. Money is always important in chess. With money I mean material, right? So maybe queen to d5 is interesting, because if I take on b2 with my knight, e5 is really annoying, right? So now e5 would be really annoying. But now we'll go for the safest choice. I will go for queen to c6, and then when we exchange queens, he will have troubles to defend this b2 pawn, right? It's just too many pieces putting pressure on this b2 pawn. Not even c3 works, not rook b1. So yeah, and then I avoid all these tricks with d5. Yeah, Angel Arribas, the guy that you see there in the chat, he's gonna play Banter Blitz tomorrow from Madrid. So he's a terrible player, but he's a good friend. Yeah, actually he was here recording a video series about bishop d3 against the French just 1 week ago. He was here in Hamburg, suffering from the cold.
Bishop d3.
Yeah, bishop d3. Jan thinks it's terrible, but this Angel has his ideas, you know. All right, so maybe I can try to go knight to a4 now and put some pressure on this c3 pawn. You see the strength of this guy here, of this diagonal. All right, so that's a pawn for free, so I'll just take it. I love pawns for free. So bishop takes c3, then hitting the two pieces at the same time, so it's gonna be tough for him to save material, and this is just a piece for free. I'll take it. Bishop a5. Thank you very much for the game, muchacha. So we have a really strong player, Nermit 2600 from Germany. So I'll go e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop b5. We enter in the Spanish variation. I'm just gonna try to follow Spilder's ideas. Okay, bishop d3. He's playing the Archangel's variation. Actually, I don't really remember anything about this. I'll just take on e5. I know that's just a line. So, and now d4, right? d4. Bishop takes, and now d6. Okay, so I guess f4 is one move. Knight to c6, queen to c3. looks to me natural, hitting the knight on c6, and now maybe knight to d2 was the move, but I don't remember anything. There is a really good series from Spilder about the Archangel variation. You guys should take a look as well. You play this kind of lines, it's really interesting. Okay, bishop to b7. Now I have to say I don't know anything in this position. e5, maybe e5, knight to e4, then queen e3. I'll just get crazy here. I'll just get crazy with e5. I don't think it's a good move, but I need to open the position. I need to open the position because he's leading in development. He has, I mean, he has 3 pieces, minor pieces out. I just have all my pieces here, but his king's still in the center, so maybe it should be reasonable. Maybe I'm just talking bullshit, but maybe it's interesting. So his idea, probably he wants to go d5 in the next move, but okay, that's not a problem. So after d5 I can try to go knight d2, trying to develop all my pieces. Yeah, so for example d5, knight d2, knight takes d2, bishop takes d2. I will have the bishop pair, all my pieces out, his king still in the center. I have a lot of space in the center, so should be okay for white, right? Should be more or less okay. See here a lot of challenges. Vanguard, Method Chess, Robert Pisu, HCM. Lot of users trying to crash me today. That's a good idea, actually. Knight to e7. I didn't see this move, and I think it's quite interesting. I think it's really interesting. He aims to come to f5. Actually, oof, it's really annoying. I'll just go knight d2. If knight f5, I can try to go queen to h3, hitting this knight on f5. I just want to develop my pieces, man. Just let me develop my pieces. I'll be happy. I'll be free. I'll be on time to crash you. But if you start playing these subtleties, it will not be easy for me to crash you, man. So knight to d2. What to do now? After knight f5, the problem is queen h3 maybe. So, and then something like g6 to hold this knight looks terrible. So, more natural. What is more natural here in this position? Maybe d5. D5. I can take bishop to d2. No. D5 looks natural to me. Yeah. Maybe I can try to take an f5, pushing with all my strength there. So I'll go queen to h3. Bishop takes. And now it's... Oh! Now what's going on here? Bishop takes f7. Looks interesting, at least. Bishop take... Actually, a lot of moves looks interesting. For bishop take d2 looks interesting to me. Bishop takes f7 followed by queen takes f5 and bishop d2 looks really interesting to me. So I think I'll just go for this because it's really nice trick. I want to show you guys. So bishop takes f7. And yeah, after king takes f7, queen takes f5, and then bishop takes d2. Okay, his bishop is really strong, but his knight is really weak, you know, he's really naked, he's completely naked, you know. So and we have Carnicero from Sweden. Yeah. King takes f7, queen takes, and now what to do? Now what to do? I would love to go something. I'll just take this guy and then think, right? And now it's really... Oh, now there is a beautiful checkmate, guys. Did you see already? Did you see this checkmate? Who saw the checkmate on the chat? Probably all of you guys saw it. There are many ways to win the game, but one is queen e6, right? Let's calculate all together. King f8 and then both work. F takes e5, boom, or bishop b4. Bishop b4, ba-boom, right? So queen takes, queen e6, sorry. and whatever works, right? King f8 and then followed by f takes e. All right, so thank you very much for your game, Nermit. And we keep playing, we keep getting crazy in our second birthday of Chess 24. The party is here. Don't go to a disco, don't go to a bar, don't go to a cocktail bar. Just stay here in our crazy party, chess crazy party. But we are having a lot of fun for sure. I'm just gonna go with the dragon. I'm just a fan of the dragon. One of the lines that annoys me is, of course, the Maroczy system. It's really strong, sorry. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I quit the accelerated dragon, right? Yeah, he goes for the Maroczy, sorry. I'll just go d6, and then short castle, bishop d7. There are several plans here. One is takes on d4 and bishop e6. The other one is just go bishop d7. Okay, this, I'm not sure about this move, but I don't remember what's the reason. Normally, white plays f3, holding this e4 pawn, right? So there should be a reason that I cannot find out now, but maybe something like e5 should be, in some lines should be reasonable, but I'm just gonna play bishop c6. So he will go probably with bishop f3, and then what? Not sure, man. So maybe a5, and then the same plan, knight to d7. This looks natural to me as well, but then makes sense, this f4. So probably definitely have to take a look on this f4. Okay, this e5. All right, so what to play now, what to do? Takes, and bishop and knight to d7, right? I'm just gonna do this. So if f takes, knight to d7, it's not easy to defend this e5 pawn, right? There's no way actually to defend this pawn, so maybe he has to sacrifice with e6. Okay, he takes with the bishop, but then this shouldn't be a problem. For example, queen b6, this bishop on c6 is just a little monster. I don't want to take on b2, so bishop, queen to b6, king h1, and then queen to b2, because there are many dangers, right? Like knight to d5, and then knight takes on e7, some stuff like that. But the natural knight to d7 looks good to me. I mean, yeah, without these bishops, without the dark square bishop, actually with the pawn on f4, this should favor black, because we have some beautiful diagonals. Now we are threatening to go queen to b6. All right, this should be around equal for sure. So I'll just go knight f6. This is completely equal, so we need to trick in the end game. Rook to d1. I don't know, I don't want to exchange everything. So, okay, I will take this queen, because the queen is really controlling everything from that square, so a move like queen c7 would be ridiculous in my opinion. But now what to do? I want to put a knight on c5, but first I want to make sure that that spot, it's really great. I mean, just put a knight on c5 without the pawn on a5, black could just play b4, right? Okay, so rook to d8 maybe. So he has to take on, if he has to take on d4, then on d8, sorry, then we'll own the d file. If he wants to own the d file, he will have to make some concessions, and this is actually one of them. That now I can ruin his structure on the king side, taking on f3, and this should be more than okay for black, right? I guess this should be okay for black. So how to proceed now? It's not easy. I'll just go king f8, bringing my king to the center. I want to go e6 and king e7. Yeah, just trying to. He has a queenside majority. He can try to create a pass pawn, but I think it's just too many moves he will need. All right, so knight to d5. Yeah, that's interesting move. That's interesting move. Maybe rook d8 is fine. Rook d8 is fine. Yeah, rook d8 looks really good. Guys, we are gonna make a break, just a little break, because we have some problems here with the computer. So see you in a while when we fix this. Sorry guys, but live stuff. All right, see you in 5 minutes when we fix this. Hi guys, so we are back after some little technical problems, but I hope everything is solved now and we are ready to keep playing against all of the users that are there. So just guys, please let me know if you can hear me. I hope that's the case. So I'm just gonna keep playing. I'm just gonna keep playing against new challenger. So I saw that I couldn't finish this game. Sorry, technical trouble. So we have Method Chess. Method Chess, user from nowhere. So sorry, I'll put just the screen. Otherwise, it's pretty difficult that you see the any chess. So I'll just go with C4. Let's try to play the English opening. One of my favorites as well. Knight to c3. I'll just go knight to c3. Why not? Before I went knight to f3, knight to c3, e5, g3. This is pretty normal, pretty standard. Bishop b4, bishop g2. And then after castles, I'll just go e4, right? So the idea after bishop takes c3. Okay, normally after b takes, black wants to play d5 pretty fast. So I'll just take with the d pawn. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, d6, I'll just go knight to e2. I'll try to castle and then play something like b3 or h3, bishop e3, something like this, complete development. And okay, castles, bishop b7, sorry, I have to play f3 maybe in this position. But okay, it's not that bad, it's not the end of the world. I'll continue development with bishop e3. And what's going on, guys? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Everything fine? a5. Okay, I'll just go b3 here. He wants to... You guys don't see the board? How is that possible? You don't see the board. Now you see the board, right? You see the board now? Now, can you see the board now? Yeah, now you can see the board, right? Huh, what's going on here? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. All right. Strange. Really strange. Shit, okay. All right, but so we need to solve this. All right. One second, guys. So, small break, and we come back. Sorry, guys. Oh man, this just crashed, you know?
¿Qué te pasa, tío?
O sea, se apagó esa mierda.
¿Cuál?
Murió, se apagó y lo reinicié, pero ¿sabes el problema que pasa ahora? Que... A ver... Un momento...